can't believe I'm talking to you right now. It's crazy.
Thank you, brother.
So just to give you a little bit of clarity, I'm a Twitch streamer. I'm actually using my setup right now. I've been streaming on Twitch for the last 2 years. I started while I was in school. And I kind of like threw myself back into it, and I'm getting more serious with it as of the last 6 months. And then lately I've just been doing it every day. I've been having like incremental success, with a few follows here and there and a couple subs. And I'm really happy about it. Like, I mean, I get excited. But I just kind of wanted to ask you, how do I differentiate myself between like other streamers, maybe that are small or bigger? Like, I feel like it's so saturated.
Of course it's saturated, and it should be. So is YouTube influencer? Of course it should be. It's a free platform where you can do what you fucking love and make money. The world's saturated, brother.
Okay.
Everyone's like, oh, Gary, TikTok's now saturated. I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, Twitch is saturated now. Yeah, it's supposed to be. The way to differentiate is to be 100% you. I'll give you a huge piece of advice. Don't watch a single other streamer.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
Because what ends up happening is you subconsciously start taking some of their flavor, and then you just start looking like everybody else. I think one of the reasons I don't look like anybody else is because I don't consume anybody else. And I think a lot of people are different than me and are really good at looking at other people and taking good value from them. So I don't think it's a 100% all or nothing thing. But I think most people need to start getting to a place where they consume other people less so they can find their own fucking voice.
Okay. I mean, I don't, like, for instance, I don't know if you know who Nick Merckx is, but like.
I do.
Okay. I watch him, but I don't compare myself. I more or less watch him because he's really good at like shooters, and like I play a lot of COD.
I get that. That's you. I respect that, and it's not like you should not use it for entertainment. My concern is that, anytime you start comparing to anybody else, big or small, it gets into this competitive. Most people are in this game of like worrying about numbers and worrying about tactics, and I'm concerned about that. Whereas what I really think will actually break you out is being yourself, telling stories about who you are while you're playing. Like fucking how you beat up Ricky Thompson in 3rd grade. Like, it's storytelling. It comes down to connecting with the audience. And I think that that's what you need to focus on. Like, you need to show more of yourself. The only competitive advantage we all have is our unique stories, us.
Okay. I think you said this before, that like anytime you're a content creator, it's between, or like with Twitch streaming, it's between you're either really good at the game or you're funny. Like, those are the two things that kind of.
Or you could be kind of funny and kind of good and 100% you and fucking dominate.
Okay. I guess my follow-up question to that
because funny is happening now, no different than dancing on TikTok. But I promise you, somebody's about to go on Twitch and be a psychologist while they play and fucking bring mindset to kids. Bro, I'm not good at games. I'm telling you right now, if I started playing old school Nintendo shit that I was decent at, and fucking old Sega Genesis, but fucking started dropping knowledge for 3 hours for the kids, I'd have a humongous Twitch channel.
Shit, that's true.
So you just need to be you. Like, talk about what you know. Talk about real life. Talk about your heart getting broken. Talk about why your uncle inspires you. Talk about, like, why you're impressed by Booga winning the fucking Fortnite tour. Like, talk about shit.
Okay.
Open up more while you're playing.
All right. I mean, I'm trying to, like, teach myself Adobe Premiere so I can, like, put out more videos and stuff. I actually been talking. Hello?
Everything is phenomenal. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I've been trying to put out more stuff, but the follow-up question was, I feel like, should I even try to look for that next big game to get good at, to then try and like go from there?
Yeah, that's like in esports, that's like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. If you catch the next big game and you're a fucking G at it, it's gonna fucking matter. Absolutely, I think that's a good use of time.
Okay, because I've been looking at Valorant and stuff, and I don't. But yeah, I don't know.
But by the way, you have listen. Why am I always early and winning? Everyone's like, Gary V, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. It's because I'm not scared. Everybody brings up TikTok and Facebook and Twitter. Nobody brings up the 2 months I wasted on Plurk. Nobody talks about the 3 months I wasted on Social Cam. Nobody talks about the 5 months I wasted on Photo Booth or Daily Booth, excuse me. I'm not scared. If a new game came out called Jackson Arrows and I got fucking gnarly at it, but nobody gave a fuck, I wouldn't dwell that I spent 7 months getting great at fucking Jackson Arrows.
It's true.
Everyone's fucking scared of wasting time when their fucking time ain't worth shit. It's called entitlement. Everybody's fancy, thinks they're special. Like, why are people worried about fucking wasting time when they're actually investing, to Chris Kim's point, in understanding shit? Because, by the way, the time I wasted on fucking Daily Booth and fucking Social Cam is the reason I fucking understood Vine, Snapchat, IGTV, TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then if you moved it over to games, if that Jack game you just talked about, the mechanics can still be transferred over. Like, oh, you still are good at shooting in the Jack game, you could still be good at shooting in this other game. Oh my God, that clicked. Holy shit.
All I'm trying to do is eliminate fear. People are scared of wasting time when their time ain't worth shit. The entitlement and the audacity that comes along with, like, oh, I don't want to waste my time. What the fuck are you doing otherwise, jerk?
Damn, Gary. Fuck.
What's your Twitch handle? I want to make sure everybody gets to watch.
This is RK. So THIS is IS, and then RK ARCHE.
ARCHE.
Yeah.
Awesome. Check them out, fellas.
Thanks so much, sir. See ya.
Take care. That was a good one. Team Gary V, let's chop that one. There's something there. I want that as an IGTV. ASAPO. Don't even test it. Get some headlines. Let's fucking go.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, Megan. How are you?
Good. I just want to say a shout out to you for making me self-aware enough to know that I am not meant to be a number one on any day of the week, but I do make a kick-ass number two. So I leaned into that pretty hard. So I work with a creative real estate investor, and our goal is to make creative real estate investing a tool for everyone to build wealth. And we lead with people first because we truly do believe it is a people business. So our question to you is, how can we become a national real estate icon and scale in order to support that?
Content.
Okay, so I have a question when it comes to content, because I was like, I know he's going to say, we have trouble kind of breaking down difficult topics into small consumable pieces.
That's because the person who's communicating is long-winded.
Okay, so what is the best way you can kind of give us to break down a complicated topic into a fourth grade or fifth grade level understanding?
Decks are good. I don't know if you've ever seen my content. For everybody's watching, Google Gary V content deck. It will help a lot of you. So decks are good. Cartoons, animations. What I'm worried. Listen, humans do it. I take complex as shit stuff and really break it down to first grade level.
Right.
You just might have a long-winded communicator, which is okay.
Right.
Either that person can train to get tighter and more concise, or you find somebody else as a human being to consume it. To communicate it.
Awesome. Okay, cool. No, that makes sense. So when we're building a brand, do you recommend having it be under a personal name? So like, let's just say Megan, or both? Would you do both at the same time? So like, would you do like a niche specific business name and your personal name?
Sure. Steve Jobs was a brand. Apple was a brand, right?
Okay.
Both can work. It just comes down to the human and it comes down to the business.
So when it comes to finding people to make the animations, would you just recommend a normal like Fiverr or something like that, or Upwork? Because we have been having trouble trying to find people to make the animations and the drawings. So if anybody does that,
say your Twitter handle. Let people hit you up. What's your Twitter handle?
The Twitter handle is at Corey J. Calvin.
Spell it.
CORYJCALVIN.
I love it.
Yeah.
Guess what? You just found an animator.
Thank you. I'm super excited.
Me
and
too.
so
here it is. Good job, Dustin. Doing nice work. There is the actual handle. Megan, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Gary. Bye.
Yeah, bye. All right. Let's see what's going on here. More comments. Magic Brad, what's good? Thank you for watching. Mr. Top Floor, what's good? Chris Vargas. Appreciate it. Elementary Flips. If you want your question on the show, please hit me up on 212-931-5731. 212-931-5731. Let's do it. Clem, how are you?
Hi. Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
Where are you from?
I was pretty excited to be in. I'm from Austria, so in Central Europe.
Very nice. I know
And
well.
by the way, I also started in wine. I'm a wine grower by training, and I ditched
nice.
all of that to follow my passion, which is this thing behind me. So
Good for you.
A while back, I got into tinkering with electronics mostly, and now I made that hobby my job. And a few days ago, I turned 33, and I said to myself, hey, why not gift myself the company that I would also like to start? So I make a second venture because like my own brand is totally dependent on me. So I can't source anything out. I have to do it myself. But I want to grow that and maybe employ people someday. So I got a new hobby. This is an RC scale crawler.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a competition thing, and it's getting really popular currently, and also people are building them in the quarantine currently. And so I made a little invention. So you see the chassis, that's my design, and I also fabricate these things. So I'm trying to take not really advantage, but I'm trying to encourage people to not spend more money than they could afford on such a machine. That one is designed to be extremely variable, and so people can use used and old parts to build new competition legal machines.
That's
so they
awesome.
can have fun on a budget. So I want to launch that later that year. But first I want to create a lot of content around this because it's a product that you need to explain a lot.
Understood.
And now I'm in should I spend a lot of time and effort and obviously also money on making a juggernaut of content that is ready on launch? Or should I use only the main things and feel out what people want?
Number two, I would be putting out content as often as possible to get feedback. Because if you spend a lot of time, money, and energy on a ton of content that nobody sees, you're not using the internet's feedback loop to get smarter. You're using a 1985 model. In the same way that you're innovating on the chassis, I want you to innovate on content. No reason to do it like they used to do it and guess. You could be putting out content every day and seeing the feedback and getting a sense of what really resonates. It's really cool that this is popping, and I know this has been getting more and more popular in Europe in general, and it was very big in the U.S. in the early 90s. My big shout out to my friend Robbie Turnick. I remember he had a car, and I remember a lot of people were getting into it. It's gonna be interesting to see how global this gets and how much this will play into the U.S. or Asia. But I think you're in a very interesting niche that has a ton of opportunity.
It's, I think, because the regulations on RC flying, which I was into before, got so strong and so restrictive that you're basically not allowed to go anywhere to fly it. So I have to travel about 100 kilometers to be legally able to fly. So I prepped those and focused on the crawlers. So I should.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes.
What is it?
I'm working for an American YouTube channel called Element 14 Presents. So that's a channel that revolves around electronics. That is where I get my money and my project fundings. I closed down my own little channel to focus on that. And of course, I will do a new channel, probably called Trailbug, like the company.
Trailbug. Nice.
Yeah. And do a lot of content there. And I also have the opportunity to get a property where I can legally film, which is also an issue. And build like a training facility there to have events and film other people's cars there, and maybe even have my own racing team with drivers that I endorse with my products.
I love that. That's super smart. I think you're.
Is that a good idea?
Yeah, I think you're well on your way. I like everything that's coming out of your mouth. I think you need to put out more content on TikTok and Instagram daily. Yeah.
Is there something that you think that would specifically work well on those platforms?
I'm not sure, but you need to test. It doesn't. Even if I fully did, you'd still have to interpret it and make it. You have to make. You have to make. In the same way that you tinkered to figure it out, you need to tinker with content.
Yeah, the hard thing.
Sure. In the same way that it's impossible for me to do what you do, right? It's hard. Like, I'm not handy. I don't even want to fucking put a picture on the wall, let alone build a fucking chassis. Fuck that, But so I get it. So maybe you take some money and you hire an intern who she or he is very passionate about making content.
Yeah, that would be a thing.
Good.
I'm more
the maker. I get it.
Yeah.
When you can't do it, bringing somebody in at a low cost. There's so many people that are passionate about making content. By the way, there's young kids in Austria, specifically in Austria, let alone Europe, right now, who desperately want one of your cars but can't afford it. Yet they're unbelievable at making content for the internet. We need to be thinking more about barter. You can make a video right now on your small little YouTube channel that you close down, repopulate it up. Even if there's 25 people who are watching, make a video and say, I will make 4 cars for you, which has value. You make a lot of content for me. Who wants to barter? Who wants to trade? We need a lot more trade. The internet should bring it. I see the internet bringing back a lot of old school habits. One of the old school habits, long before there was money, was we were trading. I raised cattle. You raised vegetables. We trade. You could make a coat. I could make a meal. We trade. You're fucking unbelievable at what you do. There's somebody right now probably 2 miles away from you who's unbelievable at making TikToks and YouTubes and is enjoying what you do, and you can make that trade.
Yeah, it's probably a thing. After I posted the first prototypes, like the first one was in wood, so I could cut it on my little laser just in day. And immediately somebody said, will you sell them? Can I get them somewhere? So that initially got me to that. Okay, so content.
Take care. Content. And if you can't do it, find somebody who can and either pay them or trade them.
Yeah.
Take care. Rohit said you got an extra 100 subscribers. I wonder if he's talking about that channel he's on. Let's see. What's his Tinder? I love people so much. Moist Roaches with the ha-has. DJ, what's good?
What's going on, Gary? Thank you so much for having me.
I like that empathy in the back. I love your little shrine back there, bro. I see your content on Twitter. I always appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for everything. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I know you're busy. I sell real estate. My client, I had a super successful year last year. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for allowing me to leave my day job. It was getting awful. I'm been in front of my clients, but I want to try to start to tell them, hey, this is how you save your house, or you may have to downsize. I've had clients who bought huge homes, smaller homes. I don't know if everybody is still working or not. How do I approach that conversation without being such like doom and gloom? Is there like a even keel way to do it?
With your former clients to check in on where they're at? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I've been checking in, but I haven't broached the, hey, how are you financially?
I think a nice way to do it is potentially sending everybody chocolate, flowers, wine with a note that says, hey, it's me, just trying to brighten up your day during this time, and I'm here for any conversation professionally that you need. Let me know. I think that's a way to put in a deposit on a $20, $30, $50 investment on somebody on the other side, and a sweet way to do it. And if you really write, hey, just sending you this nice bottle of empathy, because I've got empathy during this situation. Speaking of which, if there's anything I could talk to you about professionally, if you need me in any way on business, here's my number. I think it would work.
Yeah, because what I've been doing, I always send out like the holiday cards and the text and the email or whatever.
People don't want that shit.
Yeah,
they want that shit. They want some shit. They want flowers.
They want real advice now because.
Well, I actually think they want some stuff. Like right now, people are sitting at home. Ding dong, FedEx. After they wipe it down, they're scared for a day or two. They open it up and there's a bottle of wine. If there's flowers, if there's chocolate covered pretzels, like that's a nice thing to do.
Okay. So on your other site, your site for the store? Does that deliver also? Besides, I can get the treats delivered as well.
Oh yeah, and by the way, wine's complicated. Obviously, Empathy can ship everywhere. Wine Library, Wine Text can't. There's also, by the way, alcohol is like, wine's a 70% thing. I think chocolate's a 70% thing. I think flowers is an 80% thing. Plus, go back to your memory bank and remember some of the shit that you were talking about with those people. Maybe you remember that they're a Minnesota Vikings fan and you send them something like that. So just be creative and thoughtful.
Okay.
I do think empathy. Ironically, we're in the empathy. I do think empathy. I got to talk to the empathy team. I do think I have empathy during this time, kind of like transition, and the no card is kind of fresh. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was thinking like for if you. Hello.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. If there were like some other things to buy with that, because the branding is awesome for that. Are you guys coming out with anything else that we can send?
Not yet. I'm a big fan of like settling the base. I want to get the wine brand. Oh, you did? I'm sorry. Can everybody else hear me? Dustin, you can hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could still hear you.
I can hear you. You can hear me?
Okay. I just couldn't hear him.
No worries. Not yet, brother, but we're working on it.
Okay. I just couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Thanks,
I hope you have a great day. Take care.
I appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter if you can.
I will. I will
do Solutions on Twitter.
I will do it.
Thank you.
You got it, brother. Long Game Life, what's good? Dustin, I see a barber shop with 8 locations in Jersey. Team Gary, let's get that person to the queue for tomorrow's Tea with Gary V.
Cool.
Same with Lord Adam. Lord Adam on YouTube is asking a good question. Lord Adam, if you can go to Twitter, ask that question, or team, whoever's community managing YouTube right now, hit up Lord Adam. Let's get him into the queue for Wednesday or Thursday. Preston.
Hey, Gary. How are you?
I'm well, man. Thank you so much for all the Twitter interaction. I've been seeing you a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's been fun. Thanks for having me on. My heart is racing right now. This is super cool. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Where are you from, by the way?
I live in Atlanta, born and raised.
Awesome.
Yeah. I saw John Abraham's, huge fan. Love that guy.
Yes.
Missed him when he left.
I loved him. He was literally one of my favorite Jets of all time.
Yeah, he's for sure up there. Tony Gonzalez is another big favorite of mine for Falcons.
He's a good friend of mine. Really good person.
Oh, cool. So, again, really appreciate it. Been following you for a couple years. So, for a little bit of background, I just started a healthcare company, a medical device company selling surgical products to hospitals. So, as you can imagine, in this time, the last month or so, we really haven't been able to do a lot, especially on the sales front. You call a hospital for all the right reasons. They don't have time to talk about anything.
Of course.
And we don't have what they are needing in this current time. So as a result of that, we've stopped all of our sales activities because we don't want to be bothering them.
Tone deaf.
Yeah, absolutely. So my question is, instead of just hitting the pause button on everything for a month, 2 months, however long, what can we be doing in terms of either building community, building our brand without being tone deaf? I don't want to be pushing out tons and tons of stuff.
I got it.
So,
I think it's storytelling around you and the journey of how you got there. You've heard that from me. I know you're paying attention. I'm a big fan of leveling up in Facebook groups. So I think starting a Facebook group that might be called like Atlanta Entrepreneurs is not a horrible idea, or Atlanta health and wellness professionals, like creating a Facebook group and taking all your channels and energy and trying to build up that group. And then starting, once you get 50 people into that group, starting a nightly Zoom or Hangout or SteamYard with 10, 15, 20 people. Like there's those kind of things, or SteamYard's a little bit different, but like Zooms and Google Hangouts where you could do happy hours and just shoot the shit. I would become a bigger local presence.
Okay.
Because you have to understand, the hospital professionals are not going to join that because they're busy as fuck.
Right.
But when that doctor is married to a guy who has a landscaping business and he's part of the group, when he loves you because you were the fucking creator of the group and he's your homie, and when it's all over in August, when you have dinner in Buckhead with him and his wife, who happens to be a fucking doctor or a lead person in the hospital, you see how it works?
Yeah.
People say no because they don't see the chess move. They only see the move in front of them. And like, I'm not starting a Facebook group. All the fucking hospital professionals that I want are fucking tied up. I'm like, right. And that's why I get to be me and you get to be you. What you're not thinking about is A, the karma of putting together a nice group, which is nice. You know, B, is the reality is it's just really nice to fucking do that kind of karma stuff, get friends, things of that nature. And then C, most of all, humans are connected to humans. Literally, a dentist is going to join your group, is going to be on a Zoom, is going to meet up once we can meet in real, you're going to have this group that you get together with every 2 nights for cocktails. Well, you know what's going to happen. July 19th, you're all going to get together in real life. And that dentist is literally single best friends, went to Georgia Tech with the fucking head of fucking Mount this, Mount that, Hospital X, and you're fucking on your way. People aren't strategic. People aren't patient. People aren't kind. People aren't willing to give with nothing in return. People aren't patient to let relationships play out for 3 years. And people aren't strategic. They don't even see it. So I'm fucking dropping knowledge right now, Preston. That's the real thing.
Yeah.
Because guess what? It's better than sitting around.
Yeah. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I've been certainly focused more on, the hospital, people who work in healthcare,
Chess.
Yeah. When we first started, I wanted to put out like a lot of educational kind of things,
That's good. That's good.
Administration.
That's good. But this is a unique time when people are stuck, and starting a entrepreneurs helping entrepreneurs in Atlanta group would be a really good idea right now.
Yeah.
And by the way, for the tens of thousands of people that are watching, just replace the word Atlanta with Birmingham or Louisville or Salt Lake City or fucking Aspen, and away you go. Host the virtual party during this time. Become the head of the Chamber of Commerce. Become the mayor virtually of the entrepreneurship community by starting a Facebook group, using all your other channels, email, text. People are like, Gary, but I don't have a lot of social media followers. I'm like, do you have an address book? They're like, yeah. I'm like, start at A, end with a Z, and text people the URL to the Facebook group and say, yo, you want to join this? And then once you get 19 or 23, the virality starts kicking in.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Can I ask you one more quick thing? So I'm super active on LinkedIn, a lot of like healthcare things, personally. We obviously have like a LinkedIn page for the company, and just sort of like a small tactical thing. I'm in the comments of people all the time sharing, thought leaders, things like that. For the company, I mean, we post and we put out articles, things like that. As a company, do you typically like jump in comments, like interact the same way that is just you're just a person?
Yeah, and you can do the logo of the company, and then at the end of your comment, you can put # Preston Alexander.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Stay well. Fucking giving out tactics. What a first hour of Tea with Gary V. Let's go to Twitter real quick. I'm just going to go. Hold on one second, Dustin. Don't throw anybody up. I'm just going to go to Twitter in my own app. Just see what's going on here. Ooh, Empathy Wines is heavy. Go in there. Craig Cap.